Hey, this is day 61 of startup. So I'm preparing to build a prototype for the pilot that I'm going to do with a call center, and I'm gathering the technical requirements. But I'm also afraid that if the owner of the call center backs out at this point of time, it will be very difficult for me to convince another person to do the pilot because there's something very special about this person. He is himself an entrepreneur and he has made multiple millions of dollars in India by selling his company, and also has angel invested in many companies and seen so many ideas develop from scratch to many millions of dollars of valuation. For him, the primary reason to try this idea out or this product out and to help me build this prototype wasn't really to make his company or improve the process inside his company to make more profit, and neither it was to help me out, but it was, I think, as I felt it, was really the curiosity to find out whether something like this can work, and if it works, then what it means to be at the origin of it. And I think this is something common with all the founders and all the people involved in the startup ecosystem. They're not there just to make money, but to try out these weird, crazy ideas that nobody has ever thought of, and to be at the origin of these big movements. But usually, call centers are not run by startup founders, and I think it will be very difficult to get them to take the risk. Now, if they're not paying, where's the risk, you may ask? But risk actually risk of paying is actually much smaller than the risk of shame or fear of trying something crazy and then it not working out. So when this angel investor will use my solution in the call center, even if it is for free, he will be putting himself up for ridicule in front of his 40 employees at the center. So there is risk, and I don't think that people take emotional risk as easily as they take the monetary risk. So it's still a big step. I have seen this in India throughout the years, that there are these established older enterprises and there are these startups which are the new generation. And these startup founders, these companies always pay more, they do more innovative things, and they are primarily the buyers of SaaS in India, software as a service in India. This makes me think how much better things will be in Silicon Valley, where it is just full of founders and innovators. We often think that the advantage of doing a startup is in Silicon Valley is about having access to venture capital and a pool of talent, but we often overlook, I think, this great resource, which is a pool of early adopters for any kind of product. I'm quite sure if a lot of these startups, the SaaS providers, software as a service providers, were started not in Silicon Valley but somewhere else in America, they would have had quite a difficult time acquiring their first few customers. And once you have some 100, 200 customers, it is just easier to convince. Well, there are whole books written on this, so I don't need to tell this again, but it's easier to convince the late adopters, people who look for more proof. And I think it's all about the emotional risk. So once they see that other people are doing it, they are able to feel that they will not be stupid if they try it out. What this means for startups in other parts of the world: if you are finding difficulty in convincing the buyers around you, try remote reaching out to the companies in USA, in Silicon Valley. Maybe it will work out.